Bang, bang, Bitcoin today. Well, a lot happened recently. There's a lot we have to talk about. I hope you guys doing well out there. Well, it's a Friday. Our weekend is just up to come here in Mallorca. The temperatures are really high. We're facing something like 35 degrees, the best places to be in the pool. Well, anyway, but in Germany and the whole of Europe, it's pretty much the same. It's a big heat wave. Well, before we look into the overall market, like we always did, a couple of words what happened with the CPI data, which came in on Wednesday. Expectation was 3.2, 3.1, and it was 3.0. So bear in mind, the target is 2% for the Federal Reserve, so it's just about 1% difference. And so maybe we saw peak inflation, and for this reason, we quickly check what's going on the overall market. And what we see here is mainly green. Also, the big tech companies, the Microsoft, Nvidia, Google, Meta, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, you name it. But all in all, it looks green. Well, it's very simple. The biggest enemy for the stock market are high interest rates. And people maybe think there could come a change. We'll just have a look into it. Anyway, in the moment, the 2 years bonds are 4.7. The 10 years are 3.8. So still heavily inverted. Before we look into the prediction for interest rates, we quickly check the overall sentiment, fear and greed index. And we see here 81%, so the market is really bullish. And the momentum, which is the S&P 500, is very strong, around 4,500 points. Really good. Another thing we can see is the put-call ratio is really down. People are not interested to secure their positions. They are all just bullish. In a way, that could be also dangerous, but that's what it is in the moment. And another thing, market volatility on a historical downtrend. People are not nervous. They believe things carry on in the second half of the year and stock market is going to rise. This is basically what they think. So quickly, let's check the CME expectations for interest rates. And it's pretty clear. On the 26th of July, pretty soon to come, the market is absolutely sure we see another 25 base points. But what is important, we look now to the 20th of September. And so the interesting thing is that here, more than 80% believes that we see no more interest. So peak would be 5.2%. That would be bullish for the market. Okay, let's quickly check the gold price. Obviously, what we see is 1,954, slight increase. This has to do with the dollar. The dollar index is on the downtrend. Against the euro, it's 1 to 112 something. Well, this is also bullish, obviously, for the gold market. The reason is pretty simple. As the dollar goes down, the gold price goes up. This is historically always the situation. And here we come to the Bitcoin. 31,172. The last night when the news came in with XRP, we will just talk about this, we were close to 32,000, but normalization came into it. But we are very stable in the moment over the $31,000. This is on a daily basis, and that's good. Well, market capitalization, we are still on place 12, and very important, there's a psychological number. It's $606 billion. We are over the 600. Very, very good. Quick check on the block time. First of all, the unconfirmed action, 235,000. So the network is definitely not overloaded, and the block time is 798,644. And here we come to a halving clock. We have to wait another 277 days, and there's no change in the halving. It's approximately going to take place April 16. Well, and now obviously we come to the news. I'm sure you wait for this. Well, yesterday it happened. Breaking. Judge rules XRP is not a security in SEC's case against Ripple. Well, just to explain what happened here, in 2020, Ripple launched a token called XRP, and immediately the SEC stepped in and said, well, this is a commodity, you're not allowed to do this, so we sue you. And so this case is going on, court case is now going on for 3 years. And this is a very fundamental decision, because basically what they said, or what the judge said, if it's related to retailers, it's definitely a commodity. If it's related to company dealing, institutional investors, it could be a security. So the case is not over. This is the one thing I want to say. A lot of people are going crazy now, and the price last night for the token went up by, I think, 80, 90%. This all has nothing to do, by the way, with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is proof of work and this is proof of stake. But for the overall market, obviously, it is very good. So for this reason, we quickly check the political reaction on what happened yesterday.
Took up this issue about what to do about cryptocurrencies and the whole market. Again, this view in Washington that it's gotten to be a rogue investment, a dangerous investment, and with a big exchange essentially going out of business and on the brink in the case of another one. Senators on both sides of the aisle want to do something about it. I had a chance to speak with Kirsten Gillibrand, the Democratic New York senator, also Cynthia Lummis, the Republican Wyoming senator, who were talking up the possibility of getting regulation going that works. Take a look. Do you think crypto technology, crypto investments are worth it?
So I believe that this bill is the sweet spot between allowing innovation and an industry to continue to grow and thrive, but also creating consumer protections, creating know your customer requirements.
We looked at what went wrong with FTX and other failures and filled those gaps and loopholes. So we're ready to go. And the current regulations are simply inadequate, Neil.
All right, we're ready to go. And
all right, so basically what that means is they have to react to this result of a court case on the political scene. I believe the pressure is now much higher to get regulation done. I mean, we in Europe, we have MiCA regulation, and the United States is far behind. And the result of this court case shows definitely that they need regulation. People need clarity, what is allowed, what is not allowed. And so the pressure on the politician will increase. This is good for the market. Also, what I think is very important, that they have to position them pretty soon, because as we all know, there are all these applications for ETFs from BlackRock and Fidelity and all these guys. So they have to make a decision. Another thing which was very important this week is Vanguard. Vanguard is the second largest investment company in the world with $7 billion under management. And they invested in this week, early this week, in Riot Platform and Marathon Digital, more than $500 million. So they see that the miners have a great future. This is something we always said. In the end of this video, we will show you also the miner index, how it's performing. So a lot is going on, and regulation has to come. This is definitely what it is. Okay, and here we come to our data. First of all, we start today with the gold price versus the US dollar. This is important because, as you can see, the blue line, the dollar index is on a downtrend, and this is always going vice versa. And what we see in the moment, gold is going slightly up. This is a pre-indicator also for the Bitcoin, because historically a weak dollar was good for the Bitcoin. Sentiment, we have 60%, so people are really bullish. Well, no wonder about what happened yesterday. And here we have a heat map. Well, really massive green, massive green. The altcoins more than BTC. It's very simple. because we were threatened from the SEC so heavily recently. And since this relief yesterday came from a result of a court case, people go in and invest and prices go up. On the other hand side, the market dominance, obviously, from Bitcoin is now under 50%. Sure, because there's no more money inflow into the altcoins. Well, Bitcoin liquidations, we see yesterday and the day before really heavy short liquidations. People were catched on the wrong foot. They didn't have this on the screen where the decision from the court case comes, so they were betting on falling prices and the opposite came. So a lot of people lost your money. Obviously, that's what it is. Well, Bitcoin loaded addresses, again, over 48 million. This is the spot market, also driven by the positive news. And here we come to the hash rate. Hash rate recovered really. And we always say price follows hash rate. And very nice, you can see this on a 1 year's base here. So the miners are really competing about getting the block difficulty solved. They need more and more hash rate to do this, and this is good, and that secures very much the network. Google Trend, not much is happening. And the volume, we check the volume, still not good. We are still in the red zone like in 2020. We are waiting that more volume comes in to the market. Okie doke. Here we come to the trend following indicators. We predicted it on Tuesday, I think. We said, well, breakout will come, and the breakout came to the upside, as we said. So it's very close that we see on the MACD, a bullish crossover to the upside. Also on the RSI, we are on 64%, so we are still not overboard. That looks very good. The short-term indicator says, well, it can go to $33,000 in the next 48 hours. Let's see, it would be great. Well, our first cycle model is so much on track. Difference is $384. I always have to say thank you to our technical team in the background. We are working since September, October 2022 on this model, and since we implemented this model, it's always on track. This is very, very powerful, probably one of our most powerful tools we have. Second model, pretty much the same. Wyckoff, we have to wait because in order to get into phase E, we need volume. Well, Fibonacci, we are in the golden box for quite a while now. We stay stable. We're waiting on a daily basis to go into the 76.4 retracement. That would be great. Well, it doesn't look too bad. 50 versus 200 days. Looks very nice. We are far away from the 200. We definitely over the 50 days. And since we had this bullish crossover, which took place in February, that was the big investment signal to go in. At least we did it heavily. Everybody who did as well, congratulations, by the way. So we had a little bit of downturn here, but now we see this rounded bottom to the upside. That looks also good. Our ribbons, the dashboard underneath is very good. As you know, we have the 7 ribbons, 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, 50 days, 100 days, 124 and 200 days. And we are over all the ribbons. This is very, very bullish. Okay, finally we come to the miner index, very important. And it's really nice to see here what very often we predicted. The miners perform much better than the Bitcoin. If you would have invested in May 11/20, your profit would be 1,585%. It's a factor or leverage of 5.96 in comparison to the Bitcoin. And now when you see what's happening now, because we have a second graph here, which starts on the bottom, which was November 22. And what you can see here, the mines go skyrocketing. It's 2.97, 280% profit. and the Bitcoin is only 84% profit. So a very important week to see what's going to happen on the political side as a reaction to this court case. I think all this is bullish, also in combination with all the big investment companies. There is a lot of momentum in the market. And so I hope you guys are really in this market, because it's very promising what's going to happen there. I hope it was valuable information. It would be great to see you again. Thanks and bye-bye.